India is angry after clash on June 15 between Indian and Chinese troops at Galwan border. Across the country, there were calls to halt bilateral trade, boycott Chinese products, and with people burning Chinese appliances and goods, and even a Union Minister Ramdas Atawale asking to put a ban on Chinese food. However, shutting the door on Chinese products won't benefit India. Here's why. As Union Minister Ramdas Atawale said to put a ban on Chinese food, to which replying by Anjan Chatterjee said that people should know that we are an Indian company serving food by Indians with Indian ingredients. And he also said food made in India by Indians cannot be equated to Chinese products made in China. 2 years ago, the USA edged past China to become India's largest trading partner at 11.3%. However, China still accounts for 10.6% of our trade. Together with Hong Kong, it is actually still our largest trading partner. But India is one of China's small trade partners, as it accounts for only 2.1% trade with China, and it is in 12th place based on the figures of 2018. Even in this case, USA tops the list with 13.7% trade with China. A trade war will therefore hurt India much more than China. Trade war is a situation in which where countries try to damage each other's trade by imposing tariffs or quota restrictions. Let's go through the trade war which happened between USA and China. The dispute has seen that USA and China imposed tariffs on hundreds of billions of dollars of worth one another's goods. US President Donald Trump has long accused China for unfair trade practices and intellectual property theft. In China, there is a perception that America is trying to curb its rise as a global economic power. There was a preliminary deal which was signed by the both countries in January to reduce their tariffs which they had imposed onto their respective companies. Under the so-called Phase 1 deal in January, China pledged to boost US imports by $200 billion above 2017 levels and strengthen intellectual property rules. The US agreed to cut down some of its new tariffs it had imposed on China. The White House said it will tackle additional issues in the second so-called Phase 2 deal. Chinese investment in India has been steadily increasing over the past 2 decades. The number of Chinese companies investing in India increased from 21 in 2010 to 48 in 2019. According to a report by FDI Markets, which tracks cross-border FDI investments, said that around 225 Chinese companies have invested in India between 2003 and 2020. India's exports to China were $16.7 billion, while imports were $17.3 billion, leaving a trade deficit of $53.6 billion, as the trade is heavily skewed in favor of China. Thus, initiating a trade war with Indian manufacturing is limited, is not going to favor India at all. India is one of those new markets where its electronical goods, especially smartphones, have found large markets. But China has also set its eyes on other emerging markets in Asia and Africa. It is also trying to create a market for its goods in Europe also. What I totally mean is that China is searching for alternatives, and even India should look out for them. A free trade agreement is a treaty between 2 or more countries to facilitate trade and remove trade barriers. Free trade agreements helps to create an open and competitive international marketplace. India should look out for such free trade agreements. Government of India has banned 59 Chinese apps, including TikTok. Share it. This started a revolution against China in a digital way. China passed a new security law which is affecting more than 3 million of people in Hong Kong, and there have been protests regarding this. And after India, China is ready to share a border dispute with Bhutan, due to which countries like UK, USA are not happy. USA has banned Huawei, which is a Chinese company. Australia has increased its defense budgetary spending, and there have been Tibetan anti-protests on China in USA and Canada. Let's hope all these things teach Chinese government a lesson to remember. Thanks for watching.